This video kicks off with a no holds barred statement. I'll just never vote Democrat again. And here's why. From the top, we expose the real reason behind the government shutdown, not some noble fight for Americans, but Democrats holding the budget hostage to force more healthcare benefits for illegal migrants. Check it out.
The big news here in Washington, of course, which is the shutdown. Before lawmakers broke for the weekend, House Speaker Mike Johnson said the House would not return to Capitol Hill this week or in tour till Leader Schumer reopens the government. When is the last time you spoke with Republican leadership?
Well, the last time there was a conversation with Republican leadership was in the White House meeting last Monday. And unfortunately, since that point in time, Republicans, including Donald Trump, have gone radio silent. And what we've seen is negotiation through deep fake videos, the House canceling votes, and of course, President Trump spending yesterday on the golf course. That's not responsible behavior. As Democrats, our view is that we will find bipartisan common ground with our Republican colleagues to reopen the government, to actually pass a spending bill that meets the needs of the American people. But we have to decisively address this Republican health care crisis that is devastating hardworking American taxpayers.
You know, Democrats are demanding an extension of Obamacare tax credits, which expire at the end of the year, as well as other health care benefits for the funding bill. Here is what the vice president said about that this week. Take a look.
It's a lie told by the Democrats that they're not trying to give health care benefits to illegal aliens. It's a lie that is obviously untrue if you just look at the text that they gave us.
He says that Democrats are lying. What is your response to that?
Well, unfortunately, Republicans are lying because they're losing in the court of public opinion as it relates to what's going on right now. We are standing up for the health care of hard work.
That's the problem right there. He's worrying about convicted people in the court of public opinion instead of actually doing his job on the behalf of the best interest of American citizens. Too busy playing political theater games where you want to sway individuals to think one way and think another way, but nothing is getting done that benefits the average working American Joe. That's the problem here.
American taxpayers, of working class Americans, of middle class Americans, and everyday Americans who have seen over the last several months Republicans pass their one big ugly bill, largest cut to Medicaid in American history. Hospitals and nursing homes and community-based health clinics are closing all throughout the country, including in rural America. If Republicans continue to refuse to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits, tens of millions of American taxpayers are going to experience dramatically increased premiums, copays, and deductibles. And that information from their insurance companies is going out right now. Now, federal law clearly prohibits the expenditure of taxpayer dollars to provide health care to undocumented immigrants, period, full stop. And no Democrat on Capitol Hill is trying to change that law.
But Leader Jeffries, let me ask you, because as you just mentioned, you are also calling for a complete rollback of the Medicaid cuts, which Republicans just passed. They say it's a non-starter. Why include that? Why not just focus on your argument that you want to see those Obamacare tax credits extended, which expire at the end of the year?
This Republican health care crisis is all-encompassing, and it has been devastating to the well-being of the American people. We're talking about people in rural America, working class America, urban America, small town America, the heartland of America, and black and brown communities all throughout America. Now, we have made clear that in terms of what's immediately in front of us, there, of course, is an urgent need to address the Affordable Care Act and the Republicans' refusal to extend these tax credits. What we're talking about here is a dramatic impact on real, everyday Americans. A married couple of two, for instance, that makes $88,000 a year, a modest amount, currently pays about $8,000 a year in their health care insurance. That's already too much. But if these Affordable Care Act tax credits expire.
You want to know why he's so big on this healthcare thing and trying to make it a scream? It's because he's not answering the question, okay? He's not answering the question. She said, why don't you just advocate for the tax credit from Obamacare to be expanded at the end of the year? That's going to end up at the end of the year. While they virtue signal about helping the working class, they're using backdoor hospital reimbursements and shady loopholes to funnel taxpayer money into servicing people who aren't supposed to be in the country in the first place. So when we dive into real world examples like Denver hospitals treating tens of thousands of illegal migrants and begging for federal reimbursement, turning healthcare into a shell game, and you break down how Obamacare didn't lower prices, it raised them, especially for folks paying out of pocket, and how premiums skyrocketed once government got involved. And this is a direct betrayal of the middle class who now foot the bill while migrants become the left's new protected class, and Democrats pretend to defend rural Americans, but their policies are crushing them, and now they're threatening to shut down unless they get their way. This is a party where if you don't let me get my way and you don't do what I tell you to do, then we're going to have problems and then you get punished for it. So the hypocrisy runs deep. These are the same people who once demanded clean resolutions with no policy strings. Now they're doing the exact opposite. But this isn't about healthcare. It's about control, votes, and bailing out broke states like California using the migrant crisis as cover. And in the end, this is a moral fight, not a political one. And it's about truth, accountability, and common sense. And American people are tired of being lied to. We deserve leadership that fights for citizens, not for people breaking the law to be here. And that's why I'll never probably vote Democrat again, or vote for the Democrat Party, I should say, if they're going to keep going this way and not really um, advocating for the best interest of legal migrants, of actual American citizens. It's why it's time to tear this corrupt system down and rebuild it the right way from the ground up. And that's my take on this whole jargon. And it was mind blowing to me to see how they can use a crisis and use healthcare under disguise as a crisis to basically um, extort, in a way, taxpayer citizens. That's why he's so gung ho on healthcare. This healthcare, this. Oh, healthcare. If we don't have healthcare, you're gonna die. Well, who is that healthcare pertaining to? Because the individuals who are actually paying for it are getting crushed. So why are you prioritizing the premiums that individuals pay, taxpayers pay, that are actually legal, and here put it into this healthcare system for it to continue to flow and continue to run in the first place? Why aren't you prioritizing them in regards to their premiums and stuff like that? Seniors premiums are sky high. And at the end of the day, you have people that aren't in America, or that aren't in the country legally, getting free healthcare, free everything, off the backs of individuals who worked their entire life just to retire, and they still paying high premiums. Where at the end of the day, is a life or death situation when it comes to the average American, because they have to choose. And just imagine a senior citizen, and this is real life, and I've seen this, where they have to choose between their healthcare costs or their living costs, because the senior is being swamped by these premiums. Social Security is on a fixed base income. It's not enough, and the premiums to keep up with their health as a senior is costly, while illegal migrants continue to get things free and run around and want more free, and continue to be happy and want to take advantage of the system they never paid into in the first place. You have individuals walking around that's illegal with no name IDs. You have individuals that are um not only walking around with no name IDs, with social security numbers. How you get social security numbers and you're illegal? You know what I'm saying? So it's mind blowing to me. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. It blows my mind. And we just need to tear this thing down or start over the right way. I'm all for doing things the right way. That's all I got to say, family. Catch you in the next one. Love you guys. Peace.